Warning! This podcast contains a whole bunch of spoilers.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to the ASOTV podcast for the original Season 2, Episode 13, The Devil is Damned. I'm your host, Dom. With me is my co-host, Mike.
Hi!
How's it going?
It's going well.
It's going well. So, what'd you think of this episode?
It was a good episode. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
It was a very, very good episode. All kinds of juicy things going on, and Baby Hope is displaying some supernatural powers, so it seems.
That was a heated debate discussion between Nikki and myself. I'm sorry, my cats decided now would be the perfect time to be assholes.
Yeah. It happens.
Yeah, we discussed that for a bit. Should the theory... I mean, yeah, it's... After watching it and then watching it again, I basically am saying that it was definitely Baby Hope exhibiting some kind of instinctual survival, and she's showing supernatural powers. But the other theory is that Freya was off in the distance, followed Finn there, and she was protecting Hope from the sideline.
I was when the car stalled out, right, and we see Finn going in after Elijah, or the whatever. So and Cammy's driving up or whatever. I was like, oh no, Freya's, or not Freya. Is it Freya? No.
Sorry.
Who's the other one? Just completely blanked on her name.
It begins with an R.
Dahlia. I thought Dahlia was the one that was stalling the car out.
I thought you meant the other sister.
No. I thought that was Dahlia, and I was like, no, don't have Dahlia come take that baby now.
No, we don't even know where Dahlia is.
Right, but I just expected it.
Or if she's even still alive. That hasn't been answered. Yeah.
She's got to be. So that's what I was thinking. I was thinking it was Dahlia. But then after, I was like, no, absolutely not. That was Hope. Hope is somehow telepathically linked to Elijah. She sensed the danger, and she stalled the car. And then after the house blew up, the car turned back on. Some kind of magic somewhere. So I don't know if this is a supernatural ability that she possessed because she's a hybrid, or if she's not just a hybrid and she's also part witch.
Which would explain why in Season 1 the witches were so freaked out over her coming and her being born.
Right.
Because it's possible that, witches don't retain their powers if they're a vampire or anything like that, or hybrids and junk. But what if they're born in that state?
Yeah.
As a witch.
We also saw the baby possess some supernatural healing, which Cammy was like, oh, that's Elijah. She wrote that off as Elijah. That wasn't Elijah. That was the baby.
No, that was definitely the baby.
So
yeah. Let's just talk about the end of this episode, because the whole episode was good, but the last 2 minutes was friggin' amazing.
Yeah.
I forgot that Elijah needed a daylight ring.
Yeah. I mean,
it's something that they it's not even something that they outright said. They may have one episode of the Vampire Diaries a while back.
Yeah, they did in the Vampire Diaries. I don't think it's been addressed in the originals yet.
It's been so long since it's been addressed that I completely forgot that the originals needed them.
Yes. However, all right, so from what I remember from the Vampire Diaries is the originals need the daylight rings to prevent themselves from being burned. However, the sunlight will not kill them.
Right.
So
that's what I figured.
It's severe burns.
Stupid cats. Yeah, that was just awesome. The way he told Finn, he's like, my mind is perfectly clear, like the gas that has filled every room in this house. That's the last time you put this family in danger. Yeek! So, in the sunlight.
We have contradicting reports on how these rings work. the rings in the the last time in the Vampire Diaries, we saw Elena with taking her ring off to do the same kind of trick, and we see Elijah doing this again at both points. No, Elena didn't have her ring. That was right. So she didn't have her ring at all. Uh, Elijah, on the other hand, had taken his ring and took it off of his finger, right? And he held it in the other hand and then stuck this hand in the sunlight. Just holding the ring. You don't have to be wearing it. Just holding the ring possesses the power to keep him from burning in the sun. Not one of his arms. That's why when he wears the ring on this finger, this arm could still be out in the sun, so
See, I thought
I'm
the
so
ring's power.
confused.
Yeah, see, look, he was holding the ring. I thought the ring actually had to be worn like an actual ring in order for its power to take effect.
No, as long as they have the ring on their person.
Oh. Well, maybe that's something they just forgot about, or
Could be.
maybe
Little inconsistencies like that. Those are the
Whatever.
things that bother me.
But now comes, they leave it at that perfect cliffhanger. Did Finn survive the explosion? Did Elijah survive the explosion?
Well, Elijah, fire's not going to kill him. The explosion may, whatever, have done some damage, but that's not going to kill him either. And especially because we saw Elijah in the previews for next week's episode immediately following kind of killed that big cliffhanger for me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. I didn't watch the preview.
Yeah. Immediately, it's like, boom, fades, originals logo comes up, and then it shows what's going to happen next week, and it shows, like, Elijah sitting there being, like, the best man, or, like, something like that at the ceremony. So.
Unless it was a hallucination.
No.
Yeah, see, I've always wondered, they're immortal and nothing can kill them. What if someone shoved a grenade in their stomach?
What if somebody lopped one of their heads off?
Yeah, lopped one. What if someone's miraculously succeeded in chopping one of their heads off, strapping a vest of C4 to them and detonating it, or if they just happened to be in Nagasaki when a nuke got dropped on it?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the it wouldn't actually, like, if they swallowed a grenade, I think it's gonna explode in them, but I don't think the force is gonna tear them apart.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I think it would just, like, be a self-contained blast, and it would probably knock them out as if they died, but then they'd heal and come back. I don't think it would actually. And maybe their limbs actually can't be ripped off. I don't know. Because they're supposed to be, the older you are, the stronger you are as a vampire. So, so I'm assuming the originals actually can't physically have their limbs taken off.
Who knows?
So.
Yeah. But good ending.
Yeah. But Elijah was... Did you find it funny that Elijah was building that fence in a suit? Like, he's not even in, like, work clothes. He's literally in a suit, hammering away at the fence.
But do vampires sweat from physical exertion?
Probably not. Maybe. I don't know.
So it really doesn't matter what he's wearing while he does the work, as long as, I mean, it's not like nailing a fence is going to get,
But Elijah being so prim and proper, you wouldn't think he'd want his suit to get dirty doing yard work.
He doesn't want his suit to get dirty. How many suits do you think he has? He's been alive for 1,000 years. He probably has multiple suits in every country on the planet, hidden in little, safe, tucked away places. So wherever he is, oh, look, you mussed up my suit. He is within, 50 miles of a fresh suit.
Or he could just go into town and buy a new one.
Or, compel somebody to give him a new suit. There is that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know why I thought of that, but the man has contingency suits.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
I would love for them to reveal that in the season, like the series finale, that he has vaults filled with suits.
Elijah's wardrobe is really that fascinating to you?
No. That was just a fun tidbit that it tickled my fancy for a moment. It made me giggle. And now it's gone.
It seems like Finn and Freya have teamed up, though.
Yeah.
They kind of share a common goal, except Freya, on the other hand, does not want to harm Rebecca.
Right. Freya doesn't seem... She just wants No, she doesn't want to harm Rebecca. And I'm still questioning her motivations. Like, Finn doesn't want Dahlia to come back because, he knows what will happen.
Right.
She'll tear through the whole family to get at that firstborn.
Yep.
But what is she going to do with that firstborn?
That's a good question.
Why, Freya said she cursed her that she'll only wake up once every 100 years. So, Freya's just an ordinary old witch. Well, a powerful witch. But the whole reason she's immortal is because she sleeps in stasis for 100 years at a time.
And body jumps.
And body jump? She does body jump?
Yeah.
I didn't catch that.
Did you not remember, what was it, last week? We saw the flashback of her at the party. She was in a completely different body.
No, it was the same body. She was just...
Was it?
Different hair, different makeup, different dress. Same body.
Fooled me. I thought it was a different body.
Same person. And she said, I've been awake for 1 year out of every 100.
Interesting. So she's basically Rip Van Winkle.
Yeah, so if Dahlia took her while she was 12, she's now only 22. Give or take a year or two.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. It's gotta suck.
Yeah. But he's been very vicious lately.
He has been.
The vampires that he let loose in the swamp, right when Haley and Jackson were kind of doing they weren't having the official ceremony, but they were basically absolving a bunch of the other werewolf alphas to join their pack.
They were pledging loyalty to Jackson.
Yeah. So during that whole ceremony, all of a sudden those vampires, Gia and all those vampires run out, and luckily Marcel was there, so...
Marcel was there to help, but Haley could have easily taken all of them, and she did.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah. But I think if Marcel wasn't there, that one of the two factions would have been dead.
Possibly.
Either the wolves or the vampires.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Marcel definitely gave it a more positive outcome.
Yeah, and it was interesting because Finn had sent Haley off on this wild goose chase, or not Haley, Marcel off on this wild goose chase to get Haley's blood.
Mm-hmm.
And
Cole.
he didn't actually need it.
And then he sent Cole off on this wild goose chase to get Klaus's blood.
Yeah. He had a plan B.
Mm-hmm.
So it just so happened with Marcel being there, and the way he's got his team under control, it was could have been worse. It
could have been much worse.
It was enough to stall them to allow Haley to step in and clean things up.
Mm-hmm.
So
something I want to talk about here, because I mentioned Cole going to get Klaus's blood.
Mm-hmm.
Klaus trusting his siblings enough to let them channel him.
Not only that, so we have that huge fight, the fallout.
Yeah, they.
When so Cole goes for a last ditch effort to try to save his life, and Klaus is like, I need to go into your brain and find out how this spell was put on so we could try to find a way to reverse it. And in the meantime, finds Cole's plan to basically dagger Klaus and put him in stasis.
Mm-hmm.
Erupts in this really awesome, but this huge argument, which they go back and forth for a bit, and Cole is still butthurt about being daggered, and Klaus has the best line ever. He just responds by going, "I daggered all of you." It's
exactly.
True. Like, why is Cole so take it so personally when Klaus has done it to every single one of his siblings?
I've daggered all of you for your own good. Oh my god. Cat almost shut my computer off here.
Yeah.
That's why I was all shitting for a second, because she jumped
right
up on top.
It was just like, you have you have this whole big thing, and it's like they come to this realization that, Cole, you're kind of being a little selfish here.
You're kind of being a baby.
You're holding a grudge that none of the other siblings have held on to, other than Finn, maybe. But Finn's sibling, Finn's grudge is not even that so much as it's just his hatred for vampires and wants to abolish them and all that. But Yeah, it was is that moment, and Klaus is like, "But you are a Mikealson. I need you to stand by me.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to trust us. We need to be able to trust you." And yeah, then that leads to the whole channeling thing.
Which is amazing because Klaus, as you know, before this show, the character we knew didn't trust anybody. So he's trusting enough to put his hands in both of his siblings, put himself in both of his siblings' hands. He's completely out, and technically, this is giving more power to Finn. Now, yes, theoretically, too much power overloads him. He's going to melt from the
Well,
inside out. But this could, if it doesn't work, it could wind up
not
blowing
only
up everything.
not only did he allow him to channel him, he gave him the white oak stake, the one weapon that could kill Klaus.
That too.
And then he goes under. Cole could have killed him.
Could have.
Could have killed him right then and there.
Could have definitely.
Klaus actually trusted his sibling.
Yeah.
Rebecca was there too, and Rebecca vowed to never let anything happen to Cole.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's all going to play out. I really hope Cole doesn't die.
I'm hoping not either. I mean, the question is, did Finn survive? I mean, he's human. The magic was overwhelming him. He did have, for a brief period, he had a metric ton of power. But, I mean, it was kind of leaving him at that moment. Did he survive the explosion? Because he is still in a frail human body. And did he body jump? Did he survive with horrific injuries? Or, I mean, what's the deal here? Because that's going to... But then, this was all I was talking to Nikki about, and then she reminded me, a curse is a curse. It doesn't matter if the witch who cast it is dead, it's still in effect. It's not a spell, it's not going to be broken.
Yeah. Well, the other thing I know is that the actor, Yusuf Gatewood, I believe it is, that plays Finn.
Vincent.
Vincent, yeah, was signed on as a series regular for this season. So, or the second half of this season anyway, and we're only 13 episodes in. So, I'm gonna take the safe bet here and use our knowledge of outside sources, because it's not internal canon, but just the way that politics run for these TV shows. Is since he's been signed on as a series regular for the second half of the season, I'm going to say that the body survived somehow.
All right. The body survived.
Well, so I'm under the assumption that if the body was to die, that Finn would just end up body jumping into another body. But so Finn's obviously going to be alive in one way, shape, or form. But I believe the whole body is intact here.
Okay.
So.
Well, that was a shame then. Elijah, you just blew your house, that lovely house, up for nothing.
It's not like they could stay there.
True. Finn now knows where they are.
Yeah. So. And Finn knows about Hope. So that's the worst part about all this, is he put all the pieces together. He's figured it out.
Mm-hmm. Which is very dangerous, because, I mean, what's he going to do with Hope? Just give her to Dahlia when Dahlia comes knocking?
He's going to use it for leverage for Klaus.
Probably.
It's Klaus's one weakness right now, other than the white oak stake, which he can't get his hands on.
Very true. It is his one weakness.
And can you imagine channeling that? The amount of power that would give Vincent? Channeling the baby?
Oh, boy.
It is a hybrid, after all.
It is a hybrid, and as far as we know, it's possibly a witch. A witch hybrid.
Witch vampire werewolf hybrid.
Oh, isn't that going to be fun?
Mm-hmm.
Great.
I mean, it's unlike Klaus, right? Klaus has triggered the werewolf curse.
Mm-hmm.
So Klaus is part vampire, part werewolf.
Mm-hmm.
The baby has obviously not killed anyone yet. So the baby is part vampire, part human with the werewolf gene. And we know that humans can be witches.
Right.
So, there's nothing saying that a werewolf that has not triggered their curse cannot be a witch. We have no evidence of that in one way, shape, or form. We have no evidence for it, no evidence against it.
The
So
baby's a hodgepodge.
yeah,
We don't know of which until they tell us. We
right.
could sit here and theorize all we want, but we're never going to land on the
And
correct
as far as
answer.
we know, Klaus was a witch at some point. All of the Mikealson siblings were witches.
At some
So
point, yes.
yeah, so one would assume Klaus was too, though we've never. I don't think they've ever made reference to whether or not Klaus ever practiced magic.
I don't. Did Klaus ever practice magic? Did any of them? I mean,
Uh, Cole definitely did.
he did practice magic. See, I that was a question I was having, and I'm guessing I must have missed it in the beginning of this season.
We saw it all in the flashbacks when Nathaniel was actually portraying Cole.
Oh, right, we did. You're right, we did. Okay, because I was lost for a second. I'm like, did they practice witchcraft, or is this just what they picked up from the bodies they're inhabiting that their mother put them in?
Yeah, no, they actually practiced it, and we found out in
right.
this episode actually that a lot of the dark artifacts that Klaus had saved, that he's come into possession one way or the other, were actually created by Cole himself.
Oh.
He said in this episode, so that's where these went. These are mine.
Hmm.
So,
Right,
yeah.
he did say that.
I
Interesting.
was very surprised at Cole. I hope Cole can finally come to terms and be part of the family. I'd love to see him around more as like an ally to Klaus than this kind of like semi villain.
Semi-villain. Yeah, I mean, he's in that on-again, off-again state right now.
Yeah.
In that on-again, off-again state, I mean, in the Vampire Diaries, Klaus was always a villain. He was always there in the overarching villain sense.
Yep.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I'd love to see him around, though. Finn, I don't care about.
Do you think Finn could be redeemed? Or is he too far gone?
I think he's too far gone at the Crazy Land.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Finn always seemed the odd man out in the Mikealson family.
Yeah.
I mean,
if
now
he,
with Freya though, that's Freya
another,
seems to be even further out. She's aligned with Finn.
that's a whole nother monkey wrench.
Yeah.
I don't know where that's going.
It's leading us to Dahlia. That's what's gonna happen. Dahlia is gonna come looking for Freya to put her back into her slumber.
Mm-hmm. So curious. I would love to know.
But Freya
what the
did
whole
say
deal
she
is.
spent the better part running, right? So is she still? How does that work?
How do you run when you're asleep for 100 years? I think an all-powerful witch would be able to find you in a century if you're in one stationary place.
Maybe that's why she was hiding in that house, guarded by those people. Maybe because the magic. Because remember, she was Rebecca was shielded. Like they couldn't even do a locator spell to find Rebecca.
Right.
So
Maybe that's why
probably
she put herself there.
Yeah. So that's probably why she was hiding there.
Good place to hide. Locator
Certainly.
spells can't find.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have anything else for this episode?
Let me go through the episode in my head again real quick. Nope.
That was pretty quick.
We talked about all the good parts. I just went through all the highlights in my head, like Marcel saving them, wolves, Haley's about to have a wolf army. Klaus trusting his siblings, like the biggest sign of trust he's ever put forth, I think.
And then
yet.
kaboom.
And then kaboom. Yeah, using your
That's
own
basically the too long didn't read summary of this episode.
hand. Using your hand as a lighter.
Yep. Next week, the episode is called "I Love You, Goodbye," which does not sound good.
Yep.
I don't know. It sounds possibly like someone's dying, or it sounds like the ceremony's not going to go through.
Or it sounds like what Elijah's going to say to Haley when she gets married. I love you. Goodbye.
Maybe. The big day. With the final preparations for her union to Jackson underway, Haley begins to question whether the ritual will actually work. After arriving to the compound, Elijah has a tense encounter with Klaus and quickly suspects that his brother may be up to something. Spoilers, Elijah's alive. Meanwhile, Caleb, which is Cole. Who is harboring a devastating secret from Davina, which is him dying.
Yeah.
Seeks help from Rebecca when he realizes time is not on his side. And finally, Cammy makes a startling revelation involving Baby Hope. Pretty much what we've already surmised. She's supernatural.
Probably.
So.
More than probably. Highly likely.
Highly likely.
Extremely possible.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that about wraps this episode up.
Good episode. Good season. Good show. I like it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hear her music.
Right! The things I forget while I'm... Don't
hear it. So, Mike, where can the people find you?
You can find me fucking everything up on Twitter at Illadrin. Right there.
Excellent. You can find me down below, Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM. You could also find us on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, MySpace, and YouTube at /ASOTV podcast for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows. Till next week.
Bye-bye. Oh, right, I gotta do this too.
Till next week. I love you. Goodbye.
I love you too. You're welcome.
That's kind of creepy.
I know.
Hmm.